Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Amir's podcast. I'm your host, Amir Artabili. Very honored to be sitting here with a very good friend of mine, a longtime friend of Amir Academy, and one of the students of Amir Academy, one of the fighters, and now one of the coaches, a great father. Let me tell you something. This man is special, Mr. Doug Hensel. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
All
It's
right.
an absolute honor. And congratulations on, I know you've been wanting to get this podcast up and running for quite some time, so
Absolutely.
I'm very excited for you.
Now, I'm nervous now. I'm sitting with a pro, somebody who does this for a living. I mean, this is great to have you, my friend. Now, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So let's just start with this, my friend. I know that you wear many hats. I know that you started training in martial arts at a very young age, and I know you were a teenager when you came to Amir Academy.
I was 16.
16. So it was a great time. I remember you're a great fighter. I mean, you still are.
Thank you, sir.
Great martial artist, good kicks, good punches. You came from a very good camp. You used to train with Mr. Graydon.
Yes.
John Graydon, is that correct?
Yes,
USA
it was the
Karate.
USA Karate, John
Yeah.
Graydon, and that whole national championship team, and it was kind of the Joe Louis fighting system.
Yeah, and they were great. I mean, Joe Louis was a legend in martial arts, and Graydon's family, and Jim, John, and Mark, they were fantastic fighters.
Yeah.
They're great martial artists, so I was very, very pleased. I've known every one of them, and we work closely together, especially with Jim and Mark, and they used to bring fighters
Well,
to
that's
the
the
academy.
cool part.
Yeah.
That was the cool part. So when I got my black belt when I was 14, I kept hearing all these rumblings about this Amir guy. I kept hearing all these rumblings about this Amir guy who came from Iran and used to train the Iranian army and all this stuff, and he was making big waves, and how it was this whole different level of conditioning, because a lot of the black belt fighters there came to train with you. Because even though we had an amazing school, amazing instructors, and we learned to fight a lot of different ways, not just traditional style kickboxing, there was just something missing on the conditioning side. So all of our black belts kind of started to come over and train with you or cross train. And I was like, interesting. And then I remember my first class with you. I had an interview with you first because you were interviewing everybody to
Yep.
just be able to get in the door. And I thought that was...
We still do.
Right. And I just thought that was so unique because, most traditional karate schools and martial arts schools, you go there, you sign up, you pay your money, boom, bang, you're in the door.
Exactly.
With you, it was completely different, and I was like, oh wow, this is an elite type of school. And I remember the very first class, like it was yesterday, and I was probably, I think, freshly 16 years old. And after we stretched, which your stretching was very unique compared to other, traditional martial arts schools, and you're like, all right, everybody outside. And it was like outside on the sidewalk on 9th Street doing knuckle push-ups. And I was like, what the hell did I get myself into?
This guy's crazy.
I was
huh?
like, I'm never coming back here. This is crazy. But after class, I was drenched. And everybody had a smile on their face. Everybody was like fired up, and I'd never seen anything like it. And that's what hooked me.
I appreciate it. No, it was a great time. I mean, we still train hard. We still train exactly the same way. I don't water down anything, and
Right.
I don't compromise. You
We
see,
were just outside on Thursday night.
I
with
mean,
the
you
kids,
saw,
yeah.
with the
Yeah.
kids. Going back to Mr. Graydon, Jim Graydon, John, I mean, they were fantastic instructors, and every fighter or any black belt that came to my school from them, they were all great martial artists, and I give the
100%.
credit back to their other instructor that they had. However, we all complete each other. We
Sure.
all have something to offer in martial arts community. Going back to training and conditioning, I believe that if there are 3 ingredients to a fighter, it's conditioning, conditioning, conditioning.
100%.
Conditioning will win when you lack in technique. Now, I'm not against techniques. Obviously, you have to be a good technical fighter.
Sure.
But I've seen many technical fighters that they come in and they have 0 conditioning. They do a good job the first round. After that, they wear out and they punch themselves out.
You have to be able to last.
So exactly.
Right.
So I always try to explain that to my fighters and the students. Conditioning is everything in any sport, especially in martial arts.
100%.
So that's why we train that way. And going back to why we did interviews, why did we do that? You don't want to keep your doors open just to anyone who wants to walk in, because you never know what you get.
Agreed.
One bad apple could destroy your academy.
Agreed.
That's why from the very first day I started teaching martial arts in Florida since 1985, even the time that 1 penny was a lot of money for me, it was important. I never compromised my values. I always believed that interview one-on-one, and people thought that was weird. I'm not coming for a job interview. Yes, you're coming to my school. You have to go through the interview. I have to make sure you're not some crazy dude who wants to beat people up. I want to make sure you don't have a criminal background.
Sure.
I want to make sure I have good, clean people come to the academy. We're trusting, put it this way, we have kids, women, girls in class.
Yeah, you wanted to provide a safe environment.
Exactly, and that's why we had that. Anyway, enough talking about martial arts and me and what I've done. Thank you so much.
I just thought that was super cool.
Yeah, you're very smart. You turn this around and you start interviewing me.
Right.
That's
I'll
okay.
Stop talking.
No, we want to talk about you. I want to talk about DJ Fresh. I mean, I've seen you on TV commercials. I've seen you on the shopping channel, home
HSN.
shopping channel. Yeah, you do so much. I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, that's amazing. You're extremely popular in this, in this town. You are, as far as I'm concerned, world-renowned DJ. I mean, one of the best. Actually, I heard your name on the radio several times. People were basically talking about top DJs in Florida and in Tampa Bay, and you were one of the top people.
Thank you, sir.
And I know that because I've had the honor of having you do some events for the Academy. I know you're very busy, but you go out of your way to help me out. And you were the ring announcer for the Battle of Tampa Bay. How do you juggle all this? I mean, now your daughter is becoming an actress.
Right.
Moved to California for a movie. Your son trains. You have a wonderful wife and a family. Being a top DJ, doing weddings. I mean, tell me about that. I mean, there's so much to talk about, but you've done a lot. I know that you are an official DJ for Rays, Tampa Bay Rays.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes,
and you
sir.
also work very closely with Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Correct. I'm
All right.
a host
So
over there too.
take
Yes.
over. Tell me.
Yeah. Well, when I go and I talk, whether it's at schools or anywhere where I'm speaking, or even just talking to people about things like this, entrepreneurship. I didn't come from a lot, single mom. My dad was kind of in and out of the life, and he had his own kind of issues and demons he was dealing with, and we didn't have much. So at a young age, I knew I wanted to be something, do something. I knew I would have to do kind of multiple things. I was always doing odd jobs, 12, 13 years old, 14 years old, just to make some extra money and just to help kind of provide. So I think that hustle mentality I just was accustomed to because of how I grew up. And I attribute that to why I hustle the way I do now. I always want to outwork, outplease. I don't ever want to have, some other DJ or host or this or that get the accolades of outworking me. It's in my DNA. Same way here. I never would give up. I would always, try to outlast everybody else in class. Just because
competitive behavior.
Yeah, and it wasn't because I wanted to prove to anybody else. I wanted to prove to myself. I used to get beat up in 6th grade, very bad here at Riviera Middle School in St. Petersburg, and to the point where I would just come home crying to my mom and saying, I don't want to go back to school. I can't go back to school. Like, it was very, very bad, and that's when I found martial arts, and she took me to my first class, and that's what changed my life, and I feel like it saved me. Over the years, because martial arts doesn't just teach you how to protect yourself. It doesn't just teach you how to fight. It teaches you how to stand up for yourself, how to have self-confidence when you walk into a room, how to how self-awareness. When you walk into a room, if you see somebody who could be a bad apple or a bad actor, you stay away and you keep your eye on them and you keep your distance. There's a lot of other things that really help guide you to your question about life's balance. How do you balance life? And I think, it's hard because as you add a family, as you add members to your family like kids, you have to spend time with your whole family, right? You can't just work all the time. Then you have to spend time with just your son. Then I have to spend time with just my daughter. Then I have to spend time with just my wife. And then I need my own time. But then I need time with just my guy friends. Just to have a balance, because you can't just, only
Hey, I
do
get
one thing.
exhausted just watching you on follow you on social media, because every night there's an event. Every day there's something that you're doing, and you still come here and you still teach a class with me.
Absolutely.
And I know you're here because your son trains as well. And tell me about that. I mean, how did he become interested in martial arts? Did he ever have an issue with bullying at the school, like any of the kids?
Of course.
Because I know a lot of my students that come here. Almost 90% of the time, they've been bullied. So that's why their parents put them in martial arts. Although I have a different approach when it comes to bullying.
Of course.
However, I want to know.
Which I respect extremely, extremely much. And we are very aligned on a lot of those things,
Yeah.
yes. No, actually, it was over COVID when we were all kind of, stuck inside. I started training. I said, all right, you know what? We're gonna take this time to finally learn some martial arts. So I transformed my music studio at my house into a gym, and started just teaching both my daughter and son, Daphne and Jake, basic kicks, punches, combinations, things like that, work, target work. And they really took to it, but my son was still a little immature as far as not really focusing, kind of laughing, goofing off. And I was like, listen, when we're here and we are training for half hour, whatever it was, I need you to be serious. I need you to be locked in. I need you to stay focused. So there was still a maturity thing that I feel like he needed to, because man, I think he was only 7 or 8.
He's very serious now in class.
Now,
Yeah.
he never took to a lot of sports, and I think that's what we see a lot with kids too. I talked to a lot of the parents here, and they're like, my son or my daughter, they didn't really take to sports. They're heavy into video games, but I can't get them outside of the house. And it's a lot different than when we grew up. When we grew up, there were no video games like that. There was no instant gratification with our phones to where it's taking us right here, and we have this dopamine, rush. Now kids are very disassociated. They're desocialized. They're not really hanging out with other kids. They're not riding their bikes around the neighborhood and things like that. So, I think what's great about martial arts, especially training here, is that this is year round. It's not seasonal, like a season, and
Try to make your parents understand that. That'd
and there's
be great.
no days off.
Yeah.
It's like, no, when you commit and you come here, you either come here and you make the commitment not to, yourself and your family, but to your kid, to your child, because it's important for them.
Yeah.
What I've seen since Jake has started training with you, which has been going on, I think about 8 months now, 9 months, is a complete change in him. His body is absolutely ripped. He's like, Dad, I didn't even know I had these muscles. He's like, it hurts when I flex because I feel my back.
And he's such a
pinching.
handsome young man, and he's growing up to be very strong, and and I like his self-confidence all of a sudden.
Yeah, but he has what I have. He looks around in class when we're doing certain conditioning because he doesn't want to be one that falls out first. He wants to be the last one standing, and he'll get frustrated if he's not.
He's getting good.
He wants to prove to himself, but he wants to, I think, also prove to you. That's another thing too. Having an instructor in martial arts is like having another parent. It's like having somebody else hold them accountable for their progress, for their self-betterment. And I think that's the most important thing. You don't see that a lot in other sports. And I think that's what's important about martial arts, because you may play baseball or soccer for a season or 2 or 3 or 4 years. You're moving on to a different coach. You're moving on to a different league. You're moving on to a different division. In martial arts, your instructors, they're here. We're not going anywhere, and you're not going anywhere. You've been doing this, I lost track, how many years now?
Been teaching in Florida for 40 years now, close to 41 years.
Right,
now.
and as a martial artist alone?
57 years,
which
56
is
years.
Incredible. So this is a life sport.
I don't get old, I'm sorry.
You're like Benjamin Button. You de-age, you get younger.
I get a little older.
I mean, what I've seen, and what my wife has seen is a huge change in him, because he's finally found something that he can latch on to that holds him accountable, not just for the betterment of training and being able to test for his next belt and all of that, but his grades. He goes, Dad, I have a C. Do you think Mr. Amir is going to be upset with me and make me do push-ups? And I go, he might. So what can we do? But I love that martial arts has, affected how he thinks of school and his grades too, because there's somebody else other than me. He hears from me all the time. Hey, did you do your homework? Hey, you got to get your grades up. Hey, you got to do this. Now he has his instructor, who's not a family member, right? Who can hold him accountable. And I think that's a huge part of it.
That's good. Well, I'm glad that we could have that kind of effect on the kids, and help them out to do better. I have 2 more questions.
Sure.
I know that we're both busy, and Saturday is a family, day. I'm sure you work on Saturdays too, but sometimes.
I love making time for things like this.
I need you to tell me, how did you get involved with Buccaneers, my favorite team?
So, yeah, Tampa Bay, right? What a crazy run we've had the last few years here with Major League Sports and in our Tampa community. It actually started because of I've been with the Tampa Bay Rays since the inception, since the beginning of the team. I actually had to go and audition and try out to be one of their bat boys and clubhouse guys back in 1998. So I was 18 years old, actually 17 years old, my senior year in high school. Skipped school, went down there because I heard they were having tryouts, because I just wanted to jump on that opportunity and thought if I can at least get my foot in the door, I can try to make something happen, because I was a huge baseball fan. And wound up beating out 200 to 300 kids that were auditioning for this part. There was only, I think, 4 or 5 bat boys and clubhouse guys at the time that they were looking for, and have built this amazing relationship with the organization over the years. Was their bat boy for like 3-4 years, then worked in promotions, worked in marketing, and then in 2008 became the team's official DJ. So that just catapulted. I mean, I'm in the stadium with 20-30,000 fans, pumping the fans up, pumping the players up. So that was the first time anybody had ever done anything like that in Major League Baseball. So that kind of started making waves with other teams. There's this amazing group of other DJs and entrepreneurs that I work a lot closely with, called the Music Bureau, and they got the account for the Bucks, and they wanted to switch things up. The people that they had, I guess, kind of weren't cutting it, weren't providing that entertainment value that they needed, and they said, "Hey, we need the best. We need you to host as part of what's called Bucks Beach, which is like the official kind of like pre-party, pumping everybody up, and interviewing people and fun games and things like that with the fans,
That's
season ticket holders,
fantastic.
some athletes and stuff like that. So it just kind of turned into this big thing. So we started it last year. It was extremely well received by everybody, and they brought us back again this year for year 2. So this is year 2
That's
now,
fantastic.
which is great. So yeah, it's,
And the Bucks are doing great. I mean,
Hey.
I love Baker Mayfield. I'm
everybody's
telling you.
saying that, which I love, because it's like, how do you come
really,
from Tom Brady's shadow?
Well, I mean, Tom
to
Brady.
like-
Tom Brady was, of course, he's a legend, 7-time
He's a goat.
Super Bowl champion. Yeah, but he was not as exciting as Baker Mayfield is really exciting. I mean, the
Yeah.
guy could run. He's a
Right.
tough guy. He gets in everybody's face. I
Yeah.
just love that attitude.
Yeah.
I love his cocky.
But
Just something
passionate.
like
Yeah.
passionate. I mean, I don't mean it in a negative way.
Sure,
I
sure.
just love the guy, and I think.
But you
I
have
think,
to be that way when you're playing
Yeah.
a tough game like that.
I
That's
think
a
we
tough
have
game.
we have a great team. Well, lastly, my friend, I want to know about what the future is for you. I mean, the legacy, the impact. Looking forward to looking back in your journey, what you have done. What is the future? What are you planning to do, if I may ask?
Sure. Yeah, there's a couple of cool things I'm working. I mean, obviously, I'm still, a host with HSN, so I represent national global brands on air, mostly in the electronics sector. I have my company, which is DJ Fresh Events. We've got about 10 different DJs, so we do all events across the country, right? And then, I've always had a creative agency too, so we produce a lot of creative for brands and businesses and things like that. And then about a year ago, I partnered up with some friends, and we created the Flying Goat Agency, which is our own marketing and ad agency too as well. So we have about 12, 13 clients that are all local businesses that we help to support.
I like that.
Around here too as well. So using a lot of AI and new technology, which is really, really cool. But yeah, I'm working on a TV show right now that hopefully I'll be able to put out there soon and launch
Fantastic.
soon, which is cool. But it's all Tampa Bay based.
I want your autograph whenever you get that TV
Well,
show.
I would love to reciprocate and have you on the show to be able to tell your story, and then I can reverse engineer this and interview you. But yeah, I just always wanted to build our community. I always wanted to build Tampa Bay, especially St. Pete, kind of where I'm from.
We're in the best community. I love this.
I mean, I travel all around. I do, the MLB All-Star breaks. I do the Super Bowls. I do a lot of big corporate stuff across the country, and I'm always saying to myself, get me back home. Get me back home to paradise.
Yeah.
There is no other city, town, community that has so much to offer, so many reasons to thrive and have success here and feed business off of each other, like the Tampa Bay area and the Tampa Bay
That's
community.
awesome.
So, when it comes to the future, I don't think too much about it. I try to, there's a lot of things that are offered to me, a lot of opportunities, but I try to be very
I
strategic.
mean, you're still
about-
so young. I mean, you have plenty of
Thank you for
plenty.
saying that. I
No,
don't
you
feel that
are.
way when I wake up out of bed,
You are. What are
especially
you?
after class.
35, 36? How old
Oh
are you?
yeah, I'm not gonna give
All right.
that away. But yeah, sure, yes, thank you, sir.
Hey,
Yes.
put it this way: you're young enough to be my son. How's that?
Wow.
Yeah,
well,
right?
Yeah, that's wild. Considering you don't look old enough for that. But
That's
I want to say one thing. I obviously when I was growing my businesses and growing my companies, I had to take off from training. So there was a pretty long pocket of time there, and then having a family and trying to balance all that, it's hard, right? But coming back here and when you told me, you're like, look, now that your son's training here, you need to put your black belt on. You need to get your butt back in here. You need to help instruct. And I was
It's a good
honored.
feeling.
Yeah, but now Tuesdays and Thursdays is the most important thing that I look forward to personally.
Fantastic.
Because there is nothing more special to me in my core than getting excited about watching my son, the next generation, train the way I did with the instructor that I had.
Thank you.
At the school name that I did, that helped pave my way and gave me so much. And I know that he's in great hands. I know that we're all here collectively, you, me, Mr.
You got to
Nick.
see his face when you teach. He is so happy. When you're in class with me, and I look at your son's face, he has that glow in his face, and is so happy, you know.
Well,
so
and that's
happy.
what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
That's the legacy. That, you know, I can sit here and talk about, oh, I played this event, I did this with this celebrity. Like, nothing like that really matters to me personally. It's fun, it's great, and I'm honored to be able to do those things. To me, it's what kind of legacy am I going to leave? You know, God forbid if I'm gone tomorrow or, you know, in a year from now, how are people going to remember Doug Hensel, DJ Fresh? You know, I want them to remember me with all the philanthropic stuff that I do with All Children's Hospital, the Children's Dream Fund, Children's Cancer Center, that he was able to raise a ton of money and a ton of awareness for these amazing local organizations and kids and their families.
That's fantastic.
But also that he was an amazing dad. He was a good husband. He was a good father and, you know, a good instructor and just a good steward in the community. You know, with good ethics, both in and out of business. And that's it.
Well, it's definitely been a great honor for me to have you as a friend,
Thank you, sir.
as some active member of the Academy for so many years. I love you, my friend.
I love you too. Thank you,
And
sir.
I love the way you love your son. I love the way you love your family, and that is so important. And I know that you're going to be the official ring announcer for the upcoming Battle of Tampa Bay.
I'm very pumped.
I am very, very glad to have you. Not too many people could have you, and I'm very, very happy that.
Well, I will always clear my schedule for you.
I
I owe you so much over the years.
No,
so
no,
it's
you
the
don't.
least I can do. And you know what? We're family. So family takes care of family.
I appreciate it, my friend.
So I'm honored.
Thanks for being with me, my friend.
My
Have a
pleasure.
wonderful weekend. And thank you guys for tuning in. Please go to YouTube and subscribe our channel, or you could listen to us on Spotify. And we will have another exciting episode for you guys soon. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Love you guys. Bye.